Hey guys, it's Dana and welcome back to the 20th installment of my Tip Tuesday, and this week's tip is creating routines. So creating routines can help save you time because you don't have to necessarily think about some of the mundane things that you do every single day if you have a routine to those things, and it will help you get through life quicker, as well as if you have set routines for somebody like myself that wants to be creative. If you allow yourself to have a certain set routine and you do specific things, which I'll give some examples of, you're saving your brain power so that you can use it for creative things. At least that's what I'm doing. I'm saving, putting a ton of thought into something, how I'm going to do it, because I have a specific routine set up and it's just how I do things, and I'm saving myself that mental power for something that's more important to me, and that's being creative in this outlet. So that is kind of why I feel like routines are important, and some of my routines that I have. So I have a pretty specific morning routine. I wake up, I check my blood sugar, I go to the bathroom, I make coffee. When I check my blood sugar, I have to give myself insulin because coffee requires you to have some insulin, so that's another step in the whole process. And then I also try to take a minute or so just to think about something that I'm grateful for. I do not always write it down anymore. I just try and have that intention that I wake up in the morning and I think about something that I am grateful for at that moment in time. Like right now, a lot this week, I've been very grateful for this couch. So that's one of the things that I thought about. But yeah, creating routines allows you to be able to really master other areas of your life. Another routine that I have is my walk to work. So I do walk to work pretty much every day, unless I'm running late, like significantly late, like I'm going to be late for an appointment, or the weather is like just ridiculously horrible and I feel like I need to take transit or an Uber or something. So on my walk to work, it also helps me set up my day correctly, because I'm listening to music that motivates me and gets me in a good headspace, or I'm listening to a podcast. Again, I generally listen to pretty positive podcasts, so it gets me in a good headspace and it kind of gets me excited for the day. And if it's something that's topical, I have conversation starters with some of the people that I will be talking to in my calls throughout the day, or if it's a book that I'm listening to, then it's going to provide me with some knowledge that I wouldn't have. So that's kind of my routine on the way to work. I'm listening to something, and it's kind of, I've heard about something called a walking meditation. I believe it's on Mindful, where they do have walking meditations. And I am not a person that can sit still and meditate, but I do actually find the walk to work very therapeutic, and it is a meditative state because you are actively moving and getting yourself to where you need to go, but you're also, for me, I'm also listening to something else. So it is, in my way, a form of meditation. Then when I'm in the office, I have very specific things that I do. I get my laptop set up, I open it up, and then I make myself another cup of coffee, and usually pour myself a water as well too, and then I start going through my emails, and that's the way I like to start out my day. Typically, I like to first do some of those kind of tasks like email responses, quotes, etc. first thing in the morning. I need a little warm-up time before I get into conversation typically. So I like to have my actual meetings, phone meetings and whatnot, start at 10 a.m. Now there is exceptions to the rule. I can't control everything. And one of them actually is my Monday morning commit calls. That's at 9:30. It's not too bad. and typically it kind of depends who jumps on the call. I like to get, there's 3 people in my territory, so I generally like to be the first one on the call because then I can get back to the things that I need to do, besides talking about my numbers. But that is kind of how I set up my day. And then, as I've mentioned before, I have specific scheduled tasks at certain times of day, and it just helps, that routine helps you stay on track, I find, and helps you perform better. So that's why I have the routines that I do at work. And then I even have routines like for my YouTube videos. Now, typically my routine on a Sunday, so yes, my morning routine is check my blood sugar, go to the bathroom, make coffee, then I take the time to be grateful for something, as well as I weigh myself, and then typically I get ready and I head out to CrossFit. That is a huge part of my morning routine, and I do that every morning, even days that I'm not working, or pretty much every morning. I'm resting a little bit more from CrossFit, maybe 1 or 2 days a week I try and rest from CrossFit, but that is generally my morning routine. And then on Sundays, similar to that, except when I come home from CrossFit on Sundays, that's when I actually prepare to write what I'm going to say for my videos. I kind of put out a point form. I don't have a full script written, and I go off of those point forms, and then I get myself beautified, and I then start filming, and I film everything back to back, and that's kind of my Sunday routine. Now some days there is a break from the routine, like today I did not go to CrossFit. I instead kind of lazed about a little bit this morning, but it was nice to break from the routine, but I still generally got back on track with what I needed to do, and the steps that I use for preparing myself for my YouTube video, I still did perform them all, with the exception of obviously going to CrossFit. So I feel like routine is very important for you to be able to be successful in hitting your goals. You do need these kind of mini routines that are going to basically save your brain power for other things that are more important, and propel you towards the goals that you're trying to reach. Thank you so much for tuning into my channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do, and click the notification bell for email reminders. As a reminder, always remember, life's a journey, not a destination, so buckle up and enjoy the ride.